Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Now, if you're seeing this video, you know what is coming. Ensley Rain's Light in Your Eyes collection has been revealed, and I'm going to talk everything about this collection. Look at this collection, how it comes. If you will buy the entire collection, this is how the palette, the highlighter, the blush, the lip gloss, everything will come, because there are several parts in this collection. And look at the packaging. It is so pretty, you guys. So pretty. I absolutely love the way how they are creating now their boxes. This is so pretty, absolutely lovely. This whole collection would retail for $115, but it has a value of $127, and you can also use my code SMITHYSONY to save you 10% off on top of that. So now we're going to dive into individual products, and you'll see me apply it on my face. We're going to do swatches. We're going to create 3 looks using this palette. So if you're ready, let's begin. Okay, let's start with the blush. This is such a universally flattering shade. Look at that. I love a good like a mauvey brown shade, and this is exactly what it is. This is a neutral blush, and it would retail for $9, which I feel like is a perfect price. Let me swatch it for you guys, and I'll show the swatches on the screen also. But look at that. It's a very beautiful neutrally pinky brown shade. I love it. Absolutely love this one. So let's apply this. I'm very excited. This might be my favorite blush that they have created. Like the shade wise, I feel like this would be the most wearable. Oh, look at that. That's so pretty. Yep, this is going on my everyday drawer for sure. So pretty. And I'm loving that they do matte blushes, because I love a good matte blush. Now once you see this all blended across, let's move on to the highlighter. It's the same packaging as the blush itself, with that eye on the front, and this is a prismatic marbled highlighter. It's like a dazzling rainbow of light that catches it so beautifully, and this highlighter would retail for $24. So let's apply it. Actually, let me first just give a good swatch for you guys, and you can see how it, look at that. It's like a pink leaning highlighter, but it's definitely a multi-chrome. You can see all the shifts going on. Hopefully it doesn't show any cast on my face, but we'll find it out together. I'm gonna take a little bit, and I'm gonna just apply it. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's definitely a pinky purple leaning highlighter, I would say. It has a little bit of shimmer particles, but also blends very nicely on the skin. Like it's not sitting on top, which I like. Look at that. You see that? I like it. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. That's so pretty. So pretty. Now let's move on to the lip gloss. I love that they've done all like neutral shades in this collection. You know, at heart, I'm a neutral girly, okay? Look at this beautiful neutral mauvey brown kind of a shade. And I love the packaging too. I really love the, you know, the clear top. Love it. Absolutely love it. And this gloss would retail for $14. So let's apply it on our lips. I have like a matte gray lipstick. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. It doesn't like overpower or anything. This neutral shade is so, again, this is a very universally flattering shade on so many skin tones. I love that. Okay, now let's move on to the eyeshadow palette, because I know everybody's waiting for that. So this is how the eyeshadow palette looks. Again, the same kind of packaging, and look at the color story inside. It's so versatile in color story. It has neutrals, but it has like pops of muted and grungy tones, which I know a lot of people love. This contains 10 sparkly shimmers, which has like a mix of holochromes, duochromes, multichromes, spicy neutral shades, and also 11 buildable matte shade. And you know, I love a good matte from Ensley Rain. I absolutely love their matte formula and shimmers. I mean, it's undoubtedly, it's no questions asked, love their shimmer formulas too. So I actually swatched all the shimmers on my hand so that I can show you all of the shimmers together, but I'll show you several swatches. But also I wanted to mention about this shade. This shade is actually 2 multichromes in one. So if you consider that, it would be like more of like 11 shimmers and 11 mattes. Can you see that difference? But I'll show you in the swatches. First, let's talk about the mattes. These are the mattes of the palette. Hopefully you can see all of them. It's a nice gradient of light mattes, medium tone mattes, and deeper tone mattes. I really love it. And as far as I can see, it's like mauvey burgundy tones, mustardy, murky green tones, and like gray leaning like cool tone brown tones. That's what is encapsulated in like the matte formula. But also let me show you the shimmer formula. For that I need to stand. Okay, look at the shimmer formula, how stunning and how shifty all of them are. None of the shades are like duplicates of each other. Like they're nowhere remotely close to. Like they're so pretty. The first 2 shades is the first 2 multichromes that I was talking about in the split pan, and rest all of the shades are all swatched out for you guys. But I'll show you the swatches all together too, so that you can see all of the color story in action. I just didn't want to swatch one by one shade because it will take a long time, because it is a 21 pan eyeshadow palette. Now this palette would retail for $75, and it is planning to launch on Black Friday day, so that is November 29th. Now let's move on to creating 3 looks using this palette. So if you're ready, let's begin. Okay, let's move on to the eye look. I'm going to start off with the deeper shades. So let's start off with Once in a Lifetime, this one. And I'm going to take that in the outer corners. There's so many things that can be done with this palette. I'm not exactly sure where we are going to land, but I want to use as many shades as I can. So look at that shade. It's very deep, but also I can see it like blending very nicely, even though it's like such a deep shade. I'm going to take that same shade on the outer corner of the lower lash line too. Depending on when this palette is getting revealed, I'll try definitely to do 3 looks at least. But of course, you know me, I love my Ensley Rain palettes, so I'll do multiple looks in the coming future for sure. Okay, I'm gonna take this Sharing Space shade, this one. It's a very muted shade. I want to take that and blend the edges. I want to keep this look as like a cool tone look, because there's several shades in this palette that can lean cool tone, neutral, as well as warm tone. But I want to concentrate this for a cool tone look. Okay, now let's take this shade, Passing of Time, and I'm gonna focus that on the crease. And that's a beautiful, like a mauve shade. Look at that. It's a mid-tone mauve. Okay, now where this deeper shade is meeting, I'm gonna take the shade Beloved, this one. It's like a mid-tone gray, I would say. Oh, it has like a hint of purple too. I love it. I love those shades. I'm also gonna take that same shade Beloved on the lower lash line too. Okay, time for some shimmers. There's so many shimmers. The shade Besties was calling out to me, and even that Prismatic Glow shade, oh, Home, that is also amazing. Oh my gosh, what all should we do? Okay, I'm gonna start off with this Besties shade, this one. It's a very like a foiled shimmer kind of a shade. I'm not taking any glitter glue or anything. I hardly take ever like a glitter glue with Ensley Rain shadows. because these shadows have some kind of a binder already in it, and my eyelids crease pretty quickly. But if I use this technique of not using glitter glue, and if I put my mattes underneath, then I never crease. So just a tip for you guys, if your eyes creases, try this, it might stop creasing. Like, look at that shade. It's like a New Year's shade. So pretty. It actually reminds me of the Adept and Amy palette, or that had that shiny shade. It reminds me of that. Okay, I'm gonna take that prismatic glow shade, this one. It's like a purple holochrome, but a wearable purple. It has like a shift of green too. Can you see that? Let's take that. I'm gonna take that in the inner part and just melt it with that. It's such a beautiful shade. It's not over the top, but it's very shiny. I mean, it is over the top. I love it. Okay, now for the inner corners, I am going to take this Lucid Shine shade, but I am going to dip into this side, like my right side, I would say, because that is more cool toned and the left side is more warm toned. I'm going to take that. Can you see that? Can you see that? That is so pretty. So pretty. I'm going to just flick it a little and just melt it with the other shade. That's beautiful. I'm going to go into this shade, Synchronicity, because it's more like my skin tone shade but lighter, and that would help to just clean up underneath the brow bone right there. I'm going to finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll get right back. And that's my first eye look. I love the way how this eye turned out. It is so cool tone, but it is icy. It is so appropriate for winter time. I absolutely love. You know how much I love my purples, and this mauvey, purpley, muted, grungy tones, they just call out to me. Absolutely call out to me. Now let's move on to the second eye look. Okay, let's move on to the second eye look. I want to start off with this shade, Feet on the Ground. It looks a lot like a murky shade, and I cannot wait to apply that on my eyes and see how it appears. So let's start that with the crease, and you can see the pigmentation. It's amazing, you guys. I went with like a light layer, and you can see it totally can be like a deepening shade or like a crease shade, depending on how you're applying it, with like a loose fluffy brush or with like a denser packed brush. So once we have that, let's move on to some of the browns, and I'm going to start off with the shade Grounded, the deepest brown, and I'm going to take that in the outer corner and then just join it with that murky green. That is so pretty. I am also going to take a little bit of that mustard, Naive Melody, this one, and see how that rolls on my eyelid. I'm going to just take that on the edges. Oh, that's so pigmented. That's so pretty. Again, I'm going with like a loose fluffy brush. Oof, that's so pretty. That's amazing. For the lower lash line, I'm going to take this Soul Sister shade, this brown. Seems like a mid-tone brown. I'm going to take that on the lower lash line. And I'm going to blend it into this shade, Girlfriend Is Better, this one, in the outer corner. So once we have that, I'm just going to take that mustardy shade just to tie in everything together, the Naive Melody, and just blend everything out. Now time for some shimmers. I'm going to start off with this shade, MJ, and then I'm going to take this shade, which is Radiant Soul. So I'm going to start with MJ, just a little bit on my fingers. By the way, yesterday's look did not crease one bit on my eyelid, and I took off the makeup around like 11:30 at night. So I wore for a good 9 to 10 hours, I would say. Look at the shine. That's crazy. I'm gonna take it like a little diagonally. That shine is so pretty, you guys. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Taking Radiant Soul, which has that little bit more fieriness to it. I'm gonna take that from the inner part and then melt it with that green. That's so fiery on my eyelid. And it goes so well with that green too, because it has that green to a peach shift. Can you see that? That's amazing. I'm gonna take this shade Endless Light, and I'm gonna just take that. Actually, you know what? Change of plans. I'm gonna take the shade Eyes That Light Up, this one, just because that's a little bit more on the lighter side, and I wanna take that in my inner corner. Ooh, that's so perfect. That is so perfect. I love it. Let me finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. And that's my second eye look. I love the way how this turned out. It's fiery. It's so dimensional. It is so shiny and shifty. I love it. Absolutely love the way how this turned out. It's so dimensional on the eyes. I love a good Ensley rain shadow. And the way those mattes blended, so nice, you guys, so nice. Okay, let's move on to the next eye look and the final eye look for you guys, at least for this video, right? I wanna test out the shade Soul Sisters, and I wanna see how different it is from Girlfriend Is Better. Of course, this is a little bit more on the foresty green side, but let's see. So let's take Soul Sisters, and I'm gonna take that on the outer corner of this eye, and definitely it's more of that blue toned green. It's muted, but it's impactful too. That's so good. Okay, now I'm gonna let's take this shade, Passing of Time. I'm gonna take that and melt it with that green. I'm gonna take it on the edge and then just small circular motion just to blend everything out. And also I'm gonna take that in the inner part of the crease, just right there. Now for the lower lash line, where's my lower lash line brush? I'm gonna go into this one, Once in a Lifetime, the center shade. And I'm gonna take that on my lower lash line just to tie in that purple. I like that. Let's take some shimmers, right? I am gonna start. Oh, what are we doing? There's so many options. I cannot not use Glimmer in Time. It's so pretty, you guys, this one. Should I start with that or should I start with Home? How about I start with Home? Okay, this shade, I'm starting with Home on the outer corner, right there. Oh, that's such a pretty gunmetal shade. And I'm just overlapping it on top of that green, just a tad bit, just to melt everything together. That's so pretty. Oh, that all of the eyelid would will be such a beautiful, like a smoky eye. That's amazing. Going into this one, and this is Glimmer in Time. This is so pretty. Wait. Can you see that? So pretty. That's amazing. Amazing. I don't want to add too much. In my inner corner. So I'm gonna take the shade Sharing Space, and I'm gonna take that right in the inner corner. That's not too much light, so let's take Synchronicity. Why is that so difficult for me? Just to brighten the inner corner. Right there. That's all that I needed. Now for the final touch, I want to take the shade Head in the Sky, this one. Now we've seen all the shades. Let's take this shade. It's such a vibrant green. I'm going to take that. Absolutely not needed. I'm just mixing shades now. And I'm going to take that right there in the inner portion. and just piling it right up there. That's so pretty too. I'm gonna finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, okay? Because I can get out of the way in just 2 seconds. And that's my third and the final look. I love the way how this also turned out. You could see like the way I applied the shadows, they pile on top of each other so very nice. They pair with each other so very nice, and they're so sparkly and dimensional. These are such a staple. I feel like holiday palettes. If you were looking for one holiday palette, maybe this is it, okay? Because if you are into neutral color story and if you want to dip into colors, I feel like this is such a great palette to have in the collection. I cannot even wait to create like how many more looks I can create. Let me see what shades I did not. The shades, I feel like the only shade that I did not use was this shade, which is Endless Light, which I mean, it looks like a perfect rose gold shade. Can you see that? How can that not be pretty? That's going to be amazing too. So I'm going to definitely use that shade too on the eyes. But all in all 3 eye looks were absolutely amazing. I love the way how each and every eye look turned out. I feel like it's such a special palette. I am so excited. If you guys want to pick this up, I feel like it looks like this is going to be sold out, okay? I'm just telling you. You can use my code SMITHYSONY. But now let's move on to the outro. Now, once you've seen all the 3 looks that I created for you guys, do let me know in the comment section below, out of the 3 looks, which one was your favorite. At this point of time, I've only done one, so I cannot say. I absolutely loved swatching this palette, working with this palette. I absolutely had a blast. Again, this palette launches on Black Friday, hopefully, and it would retail for $75. I am an affiliate with Ensley. My code is SMITHYSONY to save you 10% off. Do let me know, out of the whole collection, what are you buying, or are you buying the entire collection? I'm not going to judge, okay? Because this is an amazing collection. But that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.